Hey everybody, here's your multiplying polynomials review answer key. All right, so for this very first one, we have a monomial times this trinomial. So all we're going to do is take this monomial and we are going to distribute it inside. Now remember, when we do this, we are going to multiply the coefficients, the numbers, and then we are going to add the exponents. So -5 times +4 is going to give us -20. And then we have a to the third and a to the fourth, so we're going to add those exponents. That's going to become a to the seventh. And then -5 times -3 is a +15. A to the third times a, we're going to add those exponents. That's going to become a to the fourth, because remember, there's an invisible 1 right there. And then -5 times 1 is going to be -5. And the a to the third is just going to tag along because there are no variables on the 1. Here we're going to do the same thing. We're going to distribute that 4x squared inside. So it's 4x squared times -2x to the third. So that's -8x to the fifth. And then positive 20x to the fourth minus 24x to the third. And then plus 8x squared. And this is already in standard form and there are no like terms, so we don't have to worry about simplifying anything at the end. And here we go again, distribute that. So it's going to be -6x to the fifth plus 18x squared minus 20x. Now remember, there's technically an invisible 1 on that x and an invisible 1 on that x. So that's where the exponents are coming from when I put those in, when I add the exponents. Okay, so now we've got a binomial times a binomial. So what we're going to do on this one is I'm going to take this binomial and I'm going to space it out. So I have x plus 3. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my second binomial and I'm going to write it twice. I'm going to do x plus 2 right here, and I'm going to do x plus 2 right here. And so now really what I'm doing is now I just have to distribute twice. So I'm going to do x times x, and I get x squared, x times 2, and I get 2x. And that's the first part. Now over here, I'm going to do 3 times x, so 3x. And I'm going to do 3 times 2, and so we get 6. And then we need to combine our like terms. So 2x and 3x is going to give us 5x. So we're going to have x squared plus 5x plus 6. So really what we're doing when we're multiplying a binomial times a binomial is we're just distributing twice. We're taking the first term in the first binomial, so that x, and distributing it to the second binomial. And then we're taking the 3 and distributing it to the second binomial as well. So this first step that we wrote here really kind of helps us break it up and see what it is that we're actually doing. Okay? And I'm going to do that again. So here's my first binomial, x minus 2. And with my second binomial, I'm going to take it and write it twice. X minus 5, x minus 5. And now I just have to distribute like normal. So x times x is x squared. X times -5 is -5x minus 2x. And careful here, this is a positive 10. And then we can combine those like terms. So x squared minus 7x plus 10. Now you could, if you want, use the FOIL acronym also to help you remember. You do the first, the outer, the inner, and the last. But I feel like this is a more straightforward way for you guys to see it. All right, take your first binomial and space it out. Oops, don't need that dot down there, my bad. And then take your second binomial and write it twice, x minus 1, x minus 1, and then we just FOIL. X squared minus x plus 4x minus 4. We just distribute. I'm sorry, I think I said FOIL and I meant distribute. and then combine like terms, x squared plus 3x minus 4. And now I'm going to quit it with the colors. I'm going to space out my first one. I'm going to write my second one twice and distribute. So we get x squared plus 2x minus 2x minus 4. And now when we combine like terms, 2x minus 2x actually gives us 0. So we get x squared minus 4 as our answer. This one we have to remember that if we have something squared, we have to take it and write it twice. So this is really x minus 9 times x minus 9. So we're going to do x minus 9, and then we're going to do x minus 9 here, and x minus 9 here, and we're going to distribute. So x squared minus 9x minus 9x and plus 81. And then negative 9 and negative 9 is going to give us negative 18x and then plus 81. Here we're going to space out the 3x and the plus 1 and then write in the 2x minus 5. And so we get 6x squared minus 15x plus 2x minus 5. And then there's our like terms, 6x squared minus 13x minus 5. And one last problem here. Now we're going to space this out, negative 2x plus 3. And then here we're going to write that x plus 1 and x plus 1. And now we just distribute. So negative 2x squared minus 2x plus 3x plus 3. Here's our like terms. So negative 2x squared plus x, because that becomes a positive 1, right? And then plus 3. And there we go. That's our final question. Thanks.